का आपने हमें मौका दिया। वैसे तो इस गैदरिंग में मुकेश सरन भाई साहब को सभी लोग बहुत ही नजदीकी से जानते हैं, that he is a very wonderful person and a fine academician and professional. मुकेश भाई साहब ने अपना मास्टर्स और ग्रेजुएट डिग्री जो है वो लखनऊ से क्वालिफाई की इन कॉमर्स, and then he qualified as a chartered accountant in 1985 and is practicing since then. He has given his deliberations on bank branch audit in various seminars organized by several branches of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, Muzaffarnagar, Bareilly, Muradabad, Allahabad, Patna, Gorakhpur, and of course Lucknow. He has presented a paper on the in a webcast organized by the Professional Development Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He has been a regular guest faculty at the Bankers Institute of Rural Development and has been a very regular faculty in the advanced ITT course for CA students at the Lucknow branch. He has authored several articles on bank audit, and several of his articles have been published by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India journal, as well as in the CIRC newsletter of the CIRC. Well, मुकेश सरन भाई साहब की जो है खासियत की फहरिस्त बड़ी लंबी है, लेकिन एक बात जो उनकी मुझे हमेशा बहुत पसंद आती है और he stands apart for that he has been, वो अपनी बात को जो है क्लियरली और फोर्सफुली रखने के लिए बहुत जाने जाते हैं। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं मुकेश सरन भाई साहब से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो अपना डेलिब्रेशन प्रेजेंट करें इस गैदरिंग के सामने।
Thank you, Sandeep, for introducing me again to my friends. First, I apologize for being no video from my side due to some constraints. Also, I am not a convent student and will be more comfortable with English instead of English. So please excuse me.
Perfectly fine, sir.
This year we are studying more and will work less, as due to COVID-19 we got more than sufficient time to study instead of doing the work. Today is last day of the series of webinars organized by LCS on bank audit. So far you have listened some of the national level speakers on the subject who are doing the audit of large or larger branches. In contrast to this, I am always in category 4 and always visited the rural branches of various banks in last 35 years. Maybe knowing this, the organizers have assigned me the task of covering the agricultural advance and interest subvention on crop loan, which involves very controversial and highly debatable issues. I am just sharing my experience with all of you, not teaching you. Maybe I will not be able to resolve some of your queries to your satisfaction. However, I will try to my level best to justify the task. I have given time up to 1 p.m. but in 2 hours I will take 1 hour 30 minutes to speak and half hour for question answers. So I am going to start my presentation. So please, just a minute. It is okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Topic which I am going to cover in today's webinar: concept of agriculture credit, IRIC norms for agriculture advance, interest subvention on short-term crop loans. These three topics will be covered with special focus on KCC or Kisan Credit Card.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. There is
बताएं.
a request from members कि थोड़ा सा वॉल्यूम मतलब बढ़ा लीजिए, थोड़ा सा लो आ रहा है.
मेरी तरफ से वॉल्यूम पूरा है भैया.
हाँ, मतलब आप थोड़ा सा जोर से मतलब बोल लीजिए फिर उसमें.
अच्छा ठीक है.
हो जाएगा.
आप ठीक है?
हाँ सर, perfectly fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I am going to cover three topics: concept of agriculture credit, IRIC norms for agriculture advance, interest subvention on short-term crop loans, and with special focus on Kisan credit cards. So move on. I have prepared this total presentation on the basis of guidance note issued by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, in which the chapter 10 is covering the advances, agricultural advances from page number 264 to 293. And one more source of information is master direction issued by the RBI on December 5, 2019. It was originally issued on July 7, 2016, but thereafter it has been updated several times, and last updation is on December 5, 2019. This master direction is only for the commercial banks. If you go for RRB and small finance bank, then you have to see the other master direction which has been issued by RBI separately for RRB and small finance banks. So these are the two major documents on which the total my presentation has been prepared. Now, first of all, concept of agricultural credit. What is agricultural credit in parlance of the bank? This is the complete chart. If you want to understand the agriculture advance, you can take this chart with you and you will see that the complete agriculture advance concept is given in the chart. First of all, what is the priority sector lending? Agriculture advance comes within the umbrella of the priority sector lending. Priority sector lending is mainly priority sector. What is priority sector? Priority sector is a sector which is economy weaker sections, those who not get timely and adequate credit in the absence of special dispensation. Priority sector advances are very small value loans to farmers for agriculture and allied activities, micro and small enterprises, poor people and for housing, student for education, and other low income groups of weaker sections. So if you think that priority sector lending is only for agriculture purpose, it is not so. It also covers the micro and small enterprises for business purposes, poor people for housing, and students for education. So priority sector lending is defined, or it has been segregated in 8 types. First is agriculture, that is, and second is micro and small medium enterprises, export credit, education, housing, social infrastructure, renewable energy, and others. This categorization was done by the same circular which I have referred earlier, July 7, 2016, master direction, and updated December 5, 2019. Out of 8, I am taking only one of the type today for discussion, which is first one, that is the agricultural credit. Agricultural credit actually was defined by the RBI earlier. Before the 31st March 2015, it was segregated in 2 parts, direct agricultural and indirect agriculture. But after 23 April 2015, the RBI issued a circular by which this categorization of direct and indirect agriculture is dispensed with, and it has been nomenclature has been given as farm credit, agriculture and infrastructure, and ancillary activities. So direct and indirect, nothing is direct agricultural advance and indirect agricultural advance. It is only farm credit, agricultural and infrastructure, and ancillary activities. So these are the 3 types comes under the agriculture advance. So don't think that only the crop loan or something like that will come under the agriculture advance. It is also agricultural infrastructure and ancillary activities also comes under the agriculture advance. Agriculture advance, further farm credit has been segregated in 2 parts, individual farmers and corporate farmers, and is likewise agriculture infrastructure is again segregated in 3 parts, and ancillary activities segregated in several parts. So I am taking one by one in next slides. Classification of agriculture advance. Till 31st March 2015, as I told, direct and indirect agriculture advance was there. but from April 1st, 2015, that has been divided in three parts: farm credit, agricultural infrastructure, ancillary activities. These two circulars are may be referred for this categorization: April 23, 2015, and again the master direction updated on December 5, 2019. Now we are taking the farm credit to individual farmers. Farm credit is to be given by the banks to individual farmers or organized farmers. So first, the individual farmers. What is individual farmers? What comes under the individual farmers? It may be individual farmers, including SHG and GLG. SHG, maybe all of you who are doing the bank audit is very well versed, self-help groups and joint liability groups. So these comes under the individual farmers category. And the new type has been added by the RBI. Earlier it was not there. It is a proprietorship firm of farmers. If there is a farmer and he is running a proprietorship firm, then it will also come under the farm credit to individual farmer directly. But he has to be, these two types must be engaged in agriculture and allied activities like dairy, fishery, animal husbandry, poultry, beekeeping, and sericulture. Now, 5 types, or you may say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First of all, what comes under the farm credit? Crop loan to farmers. Crop loan means traditional and non-traditional plantation, horticulture, and loans for allied activities. So crop loans may be traditional and non-traditional plantation हो सकता है, horticulture and loans for allied activities. Next classification is, or next loan which comes under the farm credit, medium and long-term loans to farmers for agriculture and allied activities. Crop loans mostly are the short-term loans which for the period up to 1 year. Medium term loans 1 year to 3 years, and long term means above 3 years. So medium and long term loans to individual farmers or proprietorship from agricultural activities like purchase of agricultural implements, machinery, loans for irrigation and other development activities which may be taken by the farmers. Next category which comes under the farm credit, loans to farmer for pre and post harvest activities. Any activity which is done by the farmers for, and expenditure has been done on pre and post harvest activities like spraying, weeding, harvesting, sorting, grading and transportation of their own farm produce. Any loan given for these activities will also come under the farm credit. Next, loan to farmers up to 50 lakhs against pledge hypothecation of agriculture produce, including warehousing receipt for a period not exceeding 12 months. If any farmer kept his produce in the warehouse and he produced the warehouse receipt to the bank, and then bank can finance against this receipt to the farmer, which comes under this category. Warehousing, you have to be very careful because you have to give the interest subvention certificate for these type of, all these type of advances to individual farmers. Loans to distressed farmer indebted to non-institutional lenders. If any farmer is taken loan from Mahajan or other non-banking financial institution and he is in distress, and if the loan has been taken by the bank for repaying that loan which has been taken by the NBFC or the Mahajan etc., then this loan also comes under this category, farm credit to individual farmers. Next is the loan to farmers under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme. If any loan has been extended to the farmer under the Kisan Credit Card Scheme, then it will come under the farm credit to individual farmer. Kisan Credit Card Scheme, I will take it later on. Next is loan to small and marginal farmers for purchase of land for agriculture purposes. So please mind it. This loan is not only for crops, etc., or warehousing receipt, etc. If any marginal farmer is taking, small or marginal farmer is taking loan from the bank for purchase of land, which may be term loan, it will come under the farm credit to individual farmers. Now, farm credit to organized sectors. Earlier one, it was only proprietorship firm of the farmers or individual farmers. Now, this is farm credit to organized sectors. Loan to corporate farmers. If farmers has been corporate, made a company, etc., and then apply for the loan to the bank, then it is a farm credit to organized sector. Farmers, producers, organizations, companies of individual farmers. This is another category. Partnership firm and cooperatives of farmers. This is also a organized sector, and any loan given to these partnership firms of farmers or cooperatives of farmers, it will come under the farm credit. But condition is that these firms or companies or organizations or cooperatives must be engaged in agriculture and allied activities. This is again dairy, fishery, animal husbandry, poultry, beekeeping, and other cap is that aggregate limit of 2 crores per borrower is to be applied. More than 2 crores cannot be financed by the bank under the farm credit to organized sectors. So this is the another condition that more than 2 crores of loan cannot be given to the organized sectors. What type of loan can be extended to the organized sector? These are the 4 types. These 4 types are also applicable for the individual farmers. Now the corporate farmers can also be entertained for these type of activities: crop loan to farmers, traditional, non-traditional plantation, horticulture, and loan for allied activities. Medium and long-term loans to farmers for agriculture, allied activities, again purchase of agriculture implement, etc. Loan to farmers of pre and post harvest activities, spraying, weeding, etc. Loan to farmers for 50 lakhs against pledge hypothecation of agriculture produce. Here the word farmers is used, which denotes the organized sector or organization, which is partnership firm, companies, cooperative, etc., whatever it may be. So you don't take the farmer means the individual farmer. Here the farmer is for organization, which has been applied, which is applying for the loan from the bank. This is the farm credit. Now the other type or other category in the agriculture credit is the agricultural infrastructure. This type of loan is also comes under the agricultural advance. First type is loan for construction of storage facilities. If any loan has been taken by anybody for storage facility, here the condition is not he is to be farmer. In the farm credit, the condition is that he should be a farmer or the farmer organization. Now, if anybody is constructing a storage facility like warehouse, market yard, godown, and silos, cold storage unit, cold chains designed to store agri produce, and he is applying for the loan from the bank, then it will come under the agricultural infrastructure category. Soil conservation and watershed development, plant tissue culture and agri-biotechnology, seed production, production of biopesticide, biofertilizer, and composting. All these type of the loan given by the bank for all these type of activities will come under the agricultural infrastructure. here again there is a condition, then aggregate sanction limit of rupees 100 crore per borrower from banking system will apply. He can take the loan from other sources also, but from banking system 100 crore per borrower is the limit. Means not only the individual bank, if the borrower is taking loan from other bank also, or there is a consortium loan or whatever it may be, then total loan amount from bank system cannot exceed 100 crores. So there is no system ki every bank should see the limit is 100 crore. It is not per bank. It is from the banking system. Earlier were 2 crores was limit for the organized sector. It was for only for the bank. Now here the limit is 100 crore from banking system. So mind it and note down. The third type is the ancillary activities. Third type of the agricultural advance, farm credit, agricultural infrastructure, and the ancillary activities. Loans up to rupees 5 crore to cooperative society of farmers for disposing of the produce of the members. First type is if any loan is taken by the cooperative society of the farmers or disposing the produce like any thing, then it is a ancillary activities. Loan for setting up agri clinics and agri business centers. Loans for food and agro processing up to an aggregate sanction of rupees 100 crore per borrower from the banking system. Here again, the 100 crore limit is total banking system, not from for only for the bank. First limit is 5 crore for every borrower. Here, every borrower per bank. Now 100 crore is per borrower from banking system. Loan to custom service units managed by individual institution or organization who maintain a fleet of tractors, bulldozers, well boring equipment, threshers, combines, and undertake farm work for farmers on contract basis. Suppose a company is engaged or has purchased the combines. Nowadays in the COVID-19, the labor is not available, and most of the in Punjab, most of the big farmers are having the combines, and they are running that combines on the rent for harvesting the uh, crops. So if anybody has taken the loan for purchase of combine and is running that combine etc or other equipment on rent and taken the loan for purchase of these uh, appliances or these combines etc, then it will treat as a ancillary activity and loan will come under the agriculture advance. Next type of the loan which will come under the ancillary activities, bank loan to primary agriculture society, farmer service society, and large side Adivasi multi-purpose societies for on lending to agriculture. I think in last 35 years of my practice, I have not met this type of Adivasi multi-purpose society or anything else. I have seen only the PACS, Primary Agriculture Krishi Society. I have not seen because I am not in the Adivasi area. So maybe some members can have seen Adivasi Multi-Purpose Society for on lending to agriculture. Loans sanctioned by banks to MFIs for on lending to agriculture sector as per the condition specified in paragraph 19 of these master directions. Master direction, which I have referred earlier, December 5, 2019. In the paragraph 19, there are some conditions specified which may be taken care while giving the loans to MFIs. Outstanding deposit under RIDF and other eligible funds with NABARD on account of priority sector shortfall. If any loan is given to Rural Infrastructure Development Fund. Outstanding deposit under IRFD. RIDF means Rural Infrastructure Development Fund and other eligible fund with NABARD, and any amount has been deposited or depositing, then to meet out the shortfall, then it will come under the ancillary activities. The term used in the ancillary activities you have seen just in the online on lending. On lending means loans sanctioned by the banks to the intermediaries for onward lending, only for creation of priority sector assets. If any organization or any cooperative society or any SHG or SLG has taken loan for giving the loan to its members, then it is a on lending. Means it loan taken from the bank by the SHG and again loan given to the members. The average maturity of priority sector asset thus created should be broadly coterminous with maturity of the bank loan, and the loan given to the members must be matured or before or on when the bank loan maturing. MFI in microfinance institution is an organization that offers financial services to low income population. Very low income populations. There is a MFI or just like Mahajan, but it is a government institution or registered institution which gives the loan to the very low income population farmers. Almost all give loans to their members and many offers insurance, deposit and other services. This is the microfinance institution. Now, Kisan Credit Card. Kisan Credit Card is one of the type which has come under the farm credit loan to individual farmers. It is a very controversial type of loan, or you can say it is a channel for granting the loans to the farmers. What is this Kisan Credit Card? Every bank in agricultural branch, if you go to the rural branches or the urban branches, you will find that the Kisan Credit Card, and this is the most typical advance which we have to face in the bank audit of rural branches. This scheme was introduced in 1998 by the RBI. Revised scheme was introduced. Again, this scheme has been revised so many times. Revised scheme was introduced in 2012. The circular issued by the RBI on 11th May. The number is given here. You may got it from the RBI site. A major confusion is there that every time we see that the borrower is depositing the money and taking the money on the same day. Some of our friends said कि भाई ये तो नहीं हो सकता, ये कैसे हो गया, निकाला और ये हो गया, तो ये तो गड़बड़ है. So in this direction, RBI has modified some of the conditions of the KCC on 7th August 2012. 7th August 2012, there was a circular in which the three types has been modified. Para 6 of the original circular, which is relating to disbursement, and Para 10, which is relating to repayment period, and Para 13, which is relating to other features, and Para 14, classification of account as NPA. These paragraphs has been modified by the circular August 7, 2012. May I take this circular in original? Just a minute. This is the original circular. Are you able to see? Hello? Hello?
Sir, circular is not visible.
circular is not visible. Okay. Then I have to share the screen. Just a minute. Now it is visible.
Yeah.
So it was the circular issued on the. देखिए भैया मैं नया हूँ, जरा पहली बार आज मैं जूम बूम चला रहा हूँ, तो थोड़ा मेरे को माफ करिएगा अगर मैं थोड़ा सा गलत वलत कर दूँ. Though this is the circular issued on 7th August 2012. This is the modification. Disbursement. The short-term component of the KCC, the original condition was this and modified condition is this. The short-term component of the KCC limit is in the nature of revolving cash credit facility. There should be no restriction in number of debits and credits. However, each installment of the drawable limit drawn in a particular will have to be repaid within 12 months. We all members are confusing with this condition कि अभी जो भी पैसा उसने लिया है वो हर कीमत पे 12 महीने में वापस हो जाना चाहिए. This was the original condition which was contained in the circular of 11th May 2012. But this condition has been changed. Now you will not see this condition in the revised direction. Modified instruction, you will not find this condition. Ki each installment should be repaid within 12 months. So please, all the members are requested to note down this circular. The modified condition is not made compulsory repayment of all the installments or all the withdrawals within 12 months. So first is this.
इसको थोड़ा सा elaborate कर सकते हैं? Actually कुछ समझ में नहीं आया.
Elaborate ऐसे कर सकते हैं अपन कि जैसे कि suppose one borrower has taken a loan on 1st April या 1st May. So 1st May 2019. In original condition, it was to be repaid before the 1st May of 2020. Okay. Otherwise, it is a bad loan. But in the revised condition, this is not the condition that he has to repay the installment. He may continue with the installment. There is no binding that the amount should be repaid once or the balance should be account in the credit. There is no condition. Only the disadvantage is that after 12 months, he will not get the benefit of the reduced interest rate. The full interest rate after the 1 year period will be charged. Now the second repayment period. The original condition was each withdrawal under the short-term sub-limit had estimated under A to E of para 3 above to be allowed to be liquidated in 12 months without the need to bring the debit balance in the account to zero at any point of time. No withdrawal in the account should remain outstanding for 12 months. Now the condition is the repayment period may be fixed by bank as per the anticipated harvesting and marketing period for the crops which a loan has been granted. Now the bank can fix the repayment period which may be more than 12 months. In case of Ganna Kheti, this where the crop period or harvesting period is season is more than 12 months. So repayment period may be more than 12 months. Other features, PISO, etc., though that is not important. Classification of NPA. Earlier, there was a classification given for short-term loan, crop-term loan, whatever it may be, or 12 months or like this. But the revised condition, in the revised condition, a KCC loan, the extent prudential norms for income recognition, asset classification, provisioning will continue to apply for loan granted under revised KCC scheme. So members, please note down that the extent in instruction of the prudential norm by the IRIC circular of July 1st, 2015 will also apply to the KCC scheme. So this is the conditions which has been modified and those are very important conditions. So Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Low Kisan credit card. So I have given some light on the revised conditions on the KCC, which those were very important conditions which has been modified. Now again, the scheme was again revised on 2018, July 4, 2018. This new circular contains the new condition which has been modified by August 7, 2012 circular. So these 2-3 circulars for KCC, the very important, this master circular of 2018 gives the complete process, how the limit is calculated, how the disbursement will be paid, how the repayment will be made. These circulars should be taken care of if you want to understand the KCC scheme. KCC facility extended to animal husbandry farmers and fisheries for their working capital. Recently, the RBI has extended the KCC facility to the farmers who are engaged in animal husbandry and fisheries only for their working capital requirement, not for term loans, not for creating the ponds, etc., or whatever it may be, only for working capital requirement. If they want the working capital and take the loan from the banks, then it can be taken under the KCC scheme. The revised circular is of 4th February 2019. The purpose should be to meet the working capital requirement. Either it may be short-term credit requirement for activities related to animal husbandry and fisheries. Rearing of animals, fisheries means, and activities may be rearing of animals, birds, fish, shrimps, other aquatic organisms, कैप्चर ऑफ फिश. जो भी काम आप कर रहे हैं, इन सब काम के लिए अगर आपको वर्किंग कैपिटल की रिक्वायरमेंट है, देन यू कैन गो फॉर द लोन under the KCC scheme from the bank. Scale of finance, how the amount of the finance will be calculated under normal short crop loan. The earlier circular which I have given you the reference, their calculation of KCC limit for crop loans has been given, and in this circular district level technical committee has to be referred. Similarly, in the case of crop loan, SLBC, there is a term used is SLBC, State Level Bankers Committee. You will find that in the UP website of the State Bankers Level Committee has not been updated from last 4 years or 3 years. You will not find any circular on regarding crop season on these websites. So you have to see the district level technical committee recommendation, how to work out the cost and scale of finance for which the borrower is applying. The basis may be per acre, per unit, per animal, per bird. What will be the rate for finance? So these have to be taken care of as per the district level committee recommendations. Maximum period for the loan may be based on the cash flow statement or completion of one production cycle. Same as in the crop loan, there is a concept of crop season. Similarly, which may be run from the sowing to the harvesting, here is the cash flow statement of completion of one production cycle. You may have to see the production cycle of from कहाँ से hatchery से आएगा, फिर पहला होगा, फिर बेचा जाएगा. So you have to take care of the time engaged for the one production cycle. So that will be the maximum period for which the working capital may be given by the bank to the borrower. Now the whole credit card under the animal husbandry or under the crop loan, what is the objective? To provide adequate and timely credit support from the banking system under single window to the farmer for their cultivation and other needs. Not only for cultivation, other needs also there. What are the other needs? I will take in the later screen. Type of facilities which has been granted under the KCC: short-term credit and long-term credit. Eligibility: who are eligible for loans under or for issue of the credit cards: farmers, individuals, joint borrowers who are owner cultivators, means या तो वो इंडिविजुअल हो या दो आदमी मिल के हों जो खुद खेती कर रहे हो, ओनर कल्टीवेटर्स, वो जो हैं एलिजिबल हैं किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड. एंड द टेनेंट फार्मर्स, oral leases and sharecroppers. If I am not having a land and I have taken a khet from Batai on Batai and I am doing the farming, then I am also eligible for the loan under the KCC scheme. There is no requirement or no mandatory condition that I must have the land. I can take the farm on the Batai also, or oral lease or sharecroppers. मैंने किसी के साथ मिल करके अगर कोई क्रॉप पैदा कर ली है और मैं उसमें पैसा लगा देता हूँ और उसके साथ मैं मिल के खेती कर रहा हूँ, खेती वो कर रहा है, तो even then I am eligible for the loan under the Kisan Credit Card. Self-help groups or joint liability groups of farmers, including tenant farmers, sharecroppers, etc., are also eligible for Kisan Credit Cards. Type of loan. Here is the catch. KCC is not a type of loan, but it is a channel for granting either short-term or long-term credit agricultural finance. So every credit card, every Kisan credit card, loan granted under the scheme, it is a scheme, not a type of loan. Kisan credit card is a scheme under which the loan has been given, which may be of the short term or may be of the long term. So most of the time we are confusing that it is a type of loan. So when you are going for the NPA, etc., which I have taken, you have to see what amount is a short term loan and what amount is a long term loan. The whole Kisan credit card will not go for NPA single. You have to see the separate limits. Renewal. Again, the limits are required to be renewed every year. In case of non-renewal, higher rate of interest is applicable. As I have told you in the revised guidelines, that there is no mandatory requirement now to liquidate the limit within 12 months or within 12 months. But if you not liquidate, if the borrower not liquidate the limit within 12 months, higher rate of interest will be applicable. Higher rate of interest means the normal rate of interest which is applicable to that type of loan. If other person which is not a farmer taking the loan from the bank as a cash credit loan or anything else is taking loan and the normal rate is 12%, then after 1 year the 12% rate will be applied to the loan given under the Kisan credit card after 1 year. And otherwise the limit has to be renewed by the bank. Credit limit. The card limit is to be bifurcated into separate sub-limits. For short-term credit limit come saving account and term loan. For each type of cash credit limit, the banks have to open a saving bank account also. So means a Kisan credit card will have 3 components: short-term cash credit limit, long-term limit, and a saving bank account. The borrower can do the transaction from saving bank to cash credit and from cash credit to saving bank account. He may transfer the amount on several times from saving bank to cash credit account of the KCC and cash credit to saving bank, but not on the term loans. So each type of short-term cash credit will be linked with the saving account of the borrower. short-term credit limit, what type of activities the short-term credit limits will be fixed to meet the short-term credit requirement of cultivation of crops. Means anything required for seeds, etc., whatever it may be, and the amount financed by the bank for these type of requirements, फार्मर्स को जो भी आपके खाद के लिए है, बीज के लिए है, तो अमाउंट जो भी है वो जब मीट द शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट, दैट is the cultivation crop will come under the short term credit limit. Post harvest expenses, after the harvesting there are so many type of expenses, weeding, yeah, cutting, combine, etc., जो भी expenditure, then it will be taken care and it will come under the short term credit limit. Produce marketing loan, if the borrower or farmer is going to mandi and taking some and incurring some expenditure for the mandi shulk, etc., whatever it may be, then it is a expenditure which may be added to the short term credit limit. While calculating the short term credit limit, these type of expenditure will be included in this. Consumption requirement of farmer household during the crop season, from sowing to the harvesting, everybody is having some household needs and he has to expend some expenditure on to meet out these requirements. So whatever the household expenses during that period will be taken as the part of the short term credit requirement. बट लेकिन ये नहीं है कि उसके घर में कोई लड़की की शादी होने वाली है और शादी का एक्सपेंडिचर उसमें जोड़ दिया जाएगा. दिस इज नॉट ए रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ हाउस होल्ड. डे टू डे एक्सपेंडिचर जो भी है, वॉट एवर इट में भी राशन है और जो भी कुछ उसका रिक्वायरमेंट है, बच्चों की स्कूल की फीस है, जो भी उसका डेली का इस तरीके का जो रेगुलर टाइप ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर उसका है, दैट विल बी टेकन फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द शॉर्ट टर्म क्रेडिट लिमिट फॉर KCC. Working capital for maintenance of farm assets and activities allied to agriculture like dairy, inland fishery, etc. जो भी उसके हल है और मशीनें हैं, कुछ भी उसके पास इस तरीके की मशीनरी है, anything and any expenditure has to be incurred for their maintenance, that will also be taken care of and will be included while calculating the short term credit limits. And for long term credit limits, what will come? Investment credit requirements for agricultural and allied activities like pump sets, sprayers, dairy, animals, etc. जो भी उसकी रिक्वायरमेंट है एग्रीकल्चर एंड एलाइड एक्टिविटीज़ की, मान लीजिए उसको सिंचाई के लिए पंप खरीदना है, स्प्रेयर खरीदना है, या एनिमल्स, डेयरी है, एनिमल्स हैं, देन these type of requirements and finance required for creating these type of appliances, etc., then the finance amount will come under the long term credit limits, which is repayable from 3 years to 5 years. What will be the interest rate? Interest rate, regarding interest rate, the RBI has issued several circulars. These are the circular which has been given by me in the bottom. For short-term duration crop and allied agriculture activity, due dates fixed on the basis of fluidity with borrowers and harvesting marketing season. ये कैसे डिसाइड होगा? शॉर्ट टर्म ड्यूरेशन क्रॉप है और अलाइड एक्टिविटी है, देन it will be decided by the due date fixed on the basis of the fluidity and the harvesting marketing season, and for long duration crop at annual rest. So there should not be anything that interest भैया क्वार्टरली लगना चाहिए या इंटरेस्ट भैया हाफ ईयरली लगना चाहिए, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It will be for short duration crops, due dates fixed on the basis of fluidity. ये कैसे करेंगे? ये बैंक को देखना होगा कि उसकी क्या सीजन कैसा चल है उसका और उसने क्या ड्यू डेट फिक्स करी है बैंक ने, तो वो ड्यू डेट फिक्स कर सकता है कि इस तारीख को इंटरेस्ट लगेगा और इस तारीख को इंटरेस्ट लगेगा फॉर शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन क्रॉप. बट वंस इट हैज बीन फिक्स्ड, it should be fixed for all the borrowers and it cannot be changed for that type of crop. And for long duration crop, the interest will be applied at annual rest. It will not be a monthly or quarterly or half yearly. It will be monthly. It will be annually. Compounding. If the loan installment becomes overdue, there is no compounding of interest. In case of loan granted under the scheme Kisan Credit Card, there is no compounding of the interest unless the loan means the short term crop loan, and installment means of the long term loan installment becomes overdue. In case the loan is becomes overdue, then bank can charge the compounding interest from the borrower. These are the circulars. RBI circular such and such dated 29 June 1998. RBI master circular interest rate on advances July 1 2015 para 4.2 para 4 sub paragraph 2. Master direction Reserve Bank of India is interest rates of advances directions मास्टर डायरेक्शन और ये इसका नंबर है, ये नंबर है March 3 2016 proviso to para 4 sub paragraph 7. In this the condition for charging the interest on the Kisan credit card has been given. Though those who are interested may take the reference of these circulars. Kisan credit card is also eligible for subvention. At present, short-term crop loans up to 3 lakhs are covered under interest subvention scheme from prepayment incentive scheme of the Government of India. In all the circulars issued by the RBI or the GOI, the word used is up to rupees 3 lakhs, which is creating confusions. A task force was constituted by the Government of India for clarifying this word up to rupees 3 lakhs, which has not been materialized due to whatever may be the reasons, but it is till now it has been running like this, up to rupees 3 lakh, up to rupees 3 lakh. But recently the circular given the illustration, and from that we can take the instances that up to rupees 3 lakhs means if any loan is of rupees, say rupees 4 lakhs, then up to rupees 3 lakh means out of that 4 lakhs amount qualify for the subvention is rupees 3 lakhs, and 1 lakh will not qualify for the subvention. So up to rupees 3 lakhs is not that कि भाई लोन अमाउंट ही 3 लाख का होना चाहिए तभी हमको सबवेंशन के लिए वो एलिजिबल होगा, ऐसा नहीं है. सबवेंशन के लिए वो तब भी अवेलेबल हो जाएगा अगर ज़्यादा अमाउंट है तो 3 लाख तक का अवेलेबल हो जाएगा और उसके ऊपर जो है वो सबवेंशन नहीं मिलेगा. डिसबर्समेंट, कैसे डिसबर्समेंट, हाउ द अमाउंट विल बी डिसबर्स्ड फॉर अंडर द किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड. Short term component of the KCC limit is in the nature of revolving cash credit facility. Revolving means there is no fixed amount कि हाँ भाई ये revolving है, जब भी चाहे वो हर 12 month के बाद that limit will be renewed. There should be no restriction in number of debits and credits. आप ये नहीं कह सकते, you will cannot say that अब भाई ये महीने में एक बार निकालेंगे, 2 बार निकालेंगे या सेम डे विड्रॉल करेंगे, सेम डे डिपॉजिट करेंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. देयर शुड बी नो रेस्ट्रिक्शन इन नंबर ऑफ डेबिट्स एंड क्रेडिट. द बोरोवर कैन टेक द अमाउंट्स विड्रॉल in the month so many times and can deposit the amount in the account so many times. The drawing limit for the current season year could be allowed to be drawn using various delivery channels. There may be delivery channel for credit card, किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड से निकाल सकते हैं, बैंक से निकाल सकते हैं, POS से निकाल सकते हैं, कहीं भी. these are the delivery channels. Type of the delivery channels has been given in the Kisan credit card scheme circular. What type of channels are available for withdrawing the money under the Kisan credit card. So the drawing limit for the current season could be allowed. the condition is that the amount should be withdrawn within the limit fixed for that season or that year. There is no restriction in debits and credits. The next is the long-term loan for investment purpose may be drawn as per the installment fixed. Earlier, I have discussed that there are two types of limits: short-term credit limits and long-term limits. So, long-term credit limit is a term loan, and for investment purposes, like he wants to purchase some equipments like pumping sets, etc., then it will come under the long-term loan, and the installment may be fixed for repayment of that loan, and he has to follow that installment कि कितना 3 साल बाद निकालना है, उसके बाद कब निकालना है, क्या निकालना है, इस तरीके से then it will be disbursed according to the schedule fixed by the bank. Similarly, repayment period may be fixed by bank as per the anticipated harvesting and marketing period for the crop which the loan has been granted. The repayment period may be fixed by the bank, may be according to harvesting and marketing period, which may be from 6 months to 12 months or 18 months, according to the short-term crop loan or long-term crop loan. The bank is free to fix the repayment period for the loan, short-term crop loan, short-term limit. The term loan component will be normally repayable within a period of 5 years, depending on the type of activity investment as per the existing guidelines applicable for investment credit. The long-term limit is to be repaid within 5 years, maybe maximum 5 years. It will be running from 3 years to 5 years. Mostly it is repayable within 3 years or maximum 5 years. Financing bank may at their discretion provide longer repayment period for term loan depending on the type of investment. It is not a general condition. Maximum period is allowed is 5 years, but bank may consider long period if it seems fit. Then he may grant the loan for more than 5 years for investment purposes under the Kisan Credit Card. But these are the exceptional cases, not the general cases. In general, there is a limit of 5 years. Kisan Credit Card, how it will be classified as NPA? As I have earlier discussed, as per the revised guidelines issued by the RBI in 2012 August, the extent prudential norm on income recognition, asset classification and provisioning will apply loan granted under KCC scheme, and charging of interest is to be done uniformly as is applicable to agricultural advance. If any advance is turned into the non-substandard asset, the interest will be charged according to as applicable to the agriculture advance. तो अगर कोई अकाउंट एनपीए में जा रहा है तो उसके लिए कैसे जाएगा वो आपको देखना है कि एसेट क्लासिफिकेशन का जो नॉर्म्स है वो जो आपके मास्टर सर्कुलर में दिया गया है वही अप्लाई होगा. केसीसी के लिए कोई अलग से नॉर्म्स नहीं है. अब आपको वही नॉर्म्स जो आप देखते चले आ रहे हैं, ओवर ड्यू पीरियड, ये वो, वही आपको देखना है. एंड अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट द लोन गिवन अंडर द केसीसी स्कीम will be classified as NPA. Now, Kisan Credit Card, the most controversial and most debatable issue, how an agriculture advance is to be classified as IRIC norms. क्या है उनके लिए, कैसे एग्रीकल्चर एडवांस को क्लासीफाई करने के लिए क्या देखना है. एनपीए असेसमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर लोन, सबसे पहले तो ये देखना है कि एग्रीकल्चर लोन जो है उसको एनपीए करने के लिए क्या करना है हमको. सबसे पहले कंडीशन, द फर्स्ट कंडीशन इज दैट एग्रीकल्चरल लोन मस्ट बी लिंक विद द नेचर ऑफ क्रॉप एंड ड्यूरेशन ऑफ क्रॉप और क्रॉप सीजन. सो whenever you go for assessment of any agricultural loan for assessment of NPA, you have to first of all see the nature of crop for which the loan has been given, and what is the duration of crop or what is the crop season. आरबीआई का जो मास्टर सर्कुलर 1 जुलाई 2015 पैरा नंबर 2.1.2 सब पैराग्राफ 4 and 5 is may be referred for classifying agriculture advance as substandard, and also the press release of Ministry of Finance dated 1 July 2019. These two documents may be referred for classifying an agriculture advance के कैसे करना है. Relevant SLBC guidelines for crop season and classification crops will apply. As I have told you earlier, there is no guideline issued by UP SLBC. We are in the UP, but there is no guidelines, or may be issued, but I don't have these guidelines, or I have tried to get it from Bank of Baroda, the nodal bank for the SLBC. I have also dropped so many mails to the Bank of Baroda SLBC कि भाई हमको ये सर्कुलर कोई दे दीजिए, but last year and this year no response received from the SLBC. So mostly even the institute guidance note, it is relying on the Maharashtra SLBC guidelines. So we also take the shelter of that guidelines of the Maharashtra SLBC for deciding the crop season and classifying the agriculture advance as NPA. While classifying an agriculture advance as NPA, you have to see the natural calamities which incurred in that area. If any natural calamity may be of the area wise, maybe in one area there may be a natural calamity, and for that area account will not come under the, or not slip under the NPA category, but same accounts or same type of accounts may slip under the NPA categories in other areas where there is no natural calamities. So if any natural calamities in area and where you are going to audit the branches, you have to see the area wise natural calamities, and it is also available with the SLBC. The SLBC will also issue circulars in this regard that these areas are covered under this type of natural calamities, and the relaxation should be given to the borrowers according to that. Now, the most important is this COVID-19 relief announced by RBI. It is for the whole country, is also to be considered. This installment has been deferred, not waived. Till now, it is only deferred. The petition has also been filed in the Supreme Court. Again, this waiver, this is deferment or this announcement that these installments or whatever it may be should be waived instead of deferment. So what outcome comes, wait for that. But you have to consider the till now the deferment of the installments, and accordingly you have to classify the any advance, whatever it may be, agriculture advance or other advances. This will apply to all type of advances, COVID-19 relief, which has been given by the or announced by the RBI. NPA norms of crop loans, RBI Master Circular, which I have referred above, 2.2154 read as out. The installment of principal on interest thereon remains overdue for 2 crop seasons, for short duration crops, and principal or interest thereon remains overdue for 1 crop season for long duration crops. So as I have told you कि भाई crop season सबसे पहले देखना है उसका, और उसका क्या ये nature of crop देखना है और duration of crop देखना है. So if the loan is for short duration crop, or if the borrower is cultivating the crops which is a short duration crops, and then you have to see the give 2 crop seasons, and for long duration crop, you have to allow one crop season before classifying an agriculture advance as NPA. Here the word is used as overdue. Overdue, what is overdue? 2.3, paragraph number 2.3 of the same circular. Any amount due to the bank under any credit facility is overdue if it is not paid on the due date fixed by the bank. So if any due date is fixed by the bank for repayment of agricultural advance, and if it has been not been paid on the due date, then it becomes overdue on that date. And after that date, you have to allow 2 crop seasons for short duration crop and 1 crop season for long duration crop to classify an account as NPA under the agriculture advance. Next is, what is the short duration crop? Kharif and Rabi crops, loan treated as NPA installment of principal interest remains overdue from 21 months from repayment due date. So if an amount is due on any date in the year, from that date you have to add 21 months before classifying a short duration crop loan as NPA. And for agriculture crop loan, you have to add 24 months from the due date, repayment due date, not from the sanction of the loan. You have to add 24 months from the repayment due date. So normally short-term crop loan season is from April to September, means April, May, June, July, 6 months or 7 months season is for Rabi or Kharif. Then you have to see 7 months plus 21 months. यानी कि आपका 21 और 7 28 आफ्टर 28 months a loan can be short term crop loan can be classified as NPA normally. And long duration crop, as per these, I have given these as per SLBC Maharashtra. Sugar cane, it is a long duration crop which runs its season runs from 13 14 months to 18 months. So you have to add more than 18 months before classifying a long duration crop for given for sugar cane as NPA. Means you have to give at least 34 to 36 months before from the sanction date before classifying a long duration crop loan as NPA. Similarly, the banana is for 21 months after the due date. These are the norms given by the SLBC Maharashtra, as I told you that UPSLBC has not given any season कि कितने महीने का सीजन होगा भैया इस क्रॉप का, इस महीने इस क्रॉप का क्या सीजन होगा. So we are taking the help of the SLBC Maharashtra. Now interest subvention, किसको किसको एलिजिबल, एलिजिबिलिटी क्या है? Public private sector banks, scheduled commercial banks in respect of loans given by the rural and semi-urban branches. The loans given by the public commercial bank or private sector commercial banks from their rural and semi-urban branches only, not the urban branches, semi-urban branches. If any loan given by the banks to the farmers, then the interest that amount will be eligible for the interest subvention. Subvention कितना मिलेगा? 2% on their own funds used for short-term loans up to rupees 3 lakh per farmer. There are several issues which may be in the minds of the members and which I have seen so many times that 2% has been calculated wrongly or not calculated correctly. So there are so many issues. Additional interest subvention of or prompt repayment incentive of 3% to those farmers which are repaying in time. And other condition is that the loan should be made available to farmers by the banks at 7% per annum. If the bank is charging the interest more than 7%, then these loans will not qualify for the interest subvention. Means if any loan is overdue from fixed date, then interest rate will be inflated by the bank. After 1 year, simply after 1 year, the interest will be hiked to the normal rate. Then the amount will not classify for the 2% subvention. How it will be calculated? Calculated on the crop loan amount from the date of its disbursement drawl up to the date of actual repayment of the crop loan by the farmer up to the due date of the loan fixed by the bank, whichever is earlier, subject to a maximum period for this year. So many issues are there that the which date is to be taken for calculating this period. I have seen so many banks are taking the end of the quarter date as date of disbursement and end of the quarter date for repayment. If anybody has repaid between January to March, then they are taking the 31st March. If anybody is taking the loan from April to June, they are taking the date of disbursement as 30th June. This is not correct. RBI circular is saying that from the date of its disbursement drawl up to the date of actual repayment. It is not saying that the end of the quarter. So most you have to see while certifying the certificate of crop interest subvention that the calculation should be calculated as per the norms given in the RBI circular. With modification for year 2018-19, scheme has been issued by the circular number this and this of March 7, 2019. Every year, RBI or Government of India, Ministry of Finance issuing the continuing the scheme through the budget announcement, and later on the RBI is issuing the circular with certain modification, if any. The last circular which is relevant for us is the March 7, 2019. Extension of the scheme for KCC to fisheries and animal husbandries. As the KCC has been extended to fisheries and animal husbandries, now the interest subvention scheme has also been extended to these farmers who are engaged in fisheries and animal husbandry activity for the year 1819 and 1920. The circular is this, August 26, 2019. Making KCC, now again a circular has been issued recently on February 26, 2020, by which the RBI is going to place a condition for claiming the IS and PRI that all the loans, short-term crop loans, should be granted under the KCC scheme. फरवरी 26, 2020 को आरबीआई ने एक सर्कुलर इशू किया था और ये कहा था कि 1 अप्रैल 20 से जितने भी क्रॉप लोन हैं वो सारे के सारे क्रॉप लोन अगर उन पे इंसेंटिव लेना है या ये लेना है, then it all the loans should come under the umbrella of KCC. But due to COVID-19 impact, this date has been extended to 30th June 2020. This is the circular issued on March 31st, 2020. The condition that all loans should be financed by the bank through the KCC may continue up to 30th June instead of 31st March 2020. So for first quarter of the 2021, the loan can be continued as it is going on. After that all the loans should be financed through the KCC scheme only. Now, how you will audit? What will be the audit procedure for interest subvention? Because you have to give the certificate that the amount claimed by the bank of interest subvention is true and correct, not true and fair. You have to give the certificate, and this time you have to give the 14 certificates for this type, more than 14. Some banks are giving 14. You have to give the 14 certificates for interest subvention. So obtain written representation from management about the scheme and its applicability. For details of short-term loan qualifying for subvention, obtain information in format 1 and format 2. Please note down, format 1 and format 2 has been completely revised this time. Earlier there was a requirement that up to 50,000, more than 50,000. Now it has been revised. There is no classification for this type of loan. So please refer the new formats given in the circular referred above, format 1 and format 2. The whole formats has been completely revised, and please refer these formats before going to certify these, giving these certificates or going to the branch for audit. Obtain list of eligible borrowers with outstanding balances. कितने borrowers हैं, उनकी outstanding balances क्या थे, ये obtain कर लीजिए. Interest on loan account has been properly charged at 7%. You have to see that the interest in the accounts has not been charged more than 7%. Some of the banks are doing exercise that they are charging the normal interest, and later on they are crediting the 2% amount in the borrower's account. This is not a fair practice for claiming the interest subvention. The interest should be charged only at the 7% in the borrower account. Bank cannot charge the interest above 7%. Some of the bank I have seen that they are charging the 9% interest, and after that crediting the 2% interest. It is not a fair practice. This is not allowed. In case of PRI, prompt repayment incentive, ensure that interest is first credited to the account, then a claim is to be made for impairment. For prompt repayment incentive, you have to check that the amount of the prompt repayment incentive has been credited in the accounts of the borrower account. After that, the bank can claim the amount from the government. So all the accounts you have to check which are qualifying for the 3% incentive, that the amount which is going to be claimed by the bank has been credited in the account of the borrower, individual borrowers. The subvention is computed properly for eligible year and credited in respective borrower account. आपको देखना है कि वो प्रॉपरली कंप्यूट किया गया है कि नहीं, ये नहीं कि बस आपने देख लिया कि हाँ भाई 2% आ रहा है. As I have told you, the major thing is that you have to check the period and the amount on which the incentive is charged. The circular is saying that bank can claim the incentive on their own funds. If interest is debited in that account, then the incentive cannot be claimed on that debit amount, because this is not the amount in which the bank's fund has been utilized. अगर किसी आदमी ने 2 लाख का लोन लिया है और उसमें 10,000 रुपए का इंटरेस्ट डेबिट हो गया है, तो 2,10,000 रुपए के ऊपर 2% इंसेंटिव नहीं मिलेगा, केवल 2 लाख के ऊपर ही मिलेगा, because the involvement of fund in that 10,000 is nowhere. So please mind it. Inquire about any rejection made in earlier year claims and reason thereof. If government has declined the claims of the earlier year, so you have to check why this rejection has been made for the particular bank or particular branch. So you have to be taken care of that reason should not be repeated again this year. Issues क्या आते हैं interest subvention में? Period for which I have told you, the period for which the claim for the government, amount on which IS and PRI to be claimed, loans which qualify for the interest relief and PRI, amount on which IS for KCC to fisheries and animal husbandry farming due 18 and 19 to be claimed, what is overall limit for IS and PRI of loan. Now in the 1920 you have to face another situation. Some of the farmers may be taken loan for crop loan and for fisheries and animals also. So there is a cap. Total fisheries and animal KCC loan issued for fishery and animal husbandry, there is a cap for 2 lakhs. Incentive or PRI can be claimed only for 2 lakhs if the loan has been extended for fisheries and animal husbandry activities. And if the loan is sanctioned for the crop, then there is a limit of 3 lakhs. Loan up to rupees 3 lakhs. So over means, example has been given in the circular issued by for the extension of the interest subvention by the RBI, that suppose, I am repeating that example, suppose a borrower has taken a crop loan of rupees 1 lakh and fisheries and animal loan of rupees 2 lakhs, and then incentive or PRI will be claimed for 3 lakhs, 1 lakh for crop and 2 lakhs for animal husbandry. Crop, and but if a farmer has taken a loan or granted a loan for crop for 2 lakhs and animal and fisheries for 2 lakhs, then the limit of 3 lakhs first be applied for the crop. Means the incentive for crop loan up to rupees 2 lakh will be allowed, and remaining 1 lakh will be allowed for the fisheries and animals. Whereas the loan has been granted for fisheries and animals 2 lakhs, but for the incentive, the amount will be considered only 1 lakh. So this type of example has been given in the circular. So before certifying the interest subvention certificate, you have to closely watch the loans or borrowers who has taken both the loans for crop loans and fisheries and animal husbandry loan. So how the incentive or PRI has been calculated. एलिजिबिलिटी ऑफ फिशरीज एंड एनिमल मैंने आपको बता दिया 2 lakhs की है, और ओवरऑल जो है 3 lakhs की है. So this is the interest subvention certificate, how we will give you the certificate. Now bank audit material I have written as the introducer Sandeep Jain has given me, inform you that I have written so many articles. These articles are available for your use on these Google Drive links. When you get the presentation with you, you may download these articles from my Google Drive, और आप लोग ले सकते हैं इसको. और फीडबैक आपको देना हो तो मुझे इस saranfc@gmail.com पे दे सकते हैं. एंड ओपन सेशन 30 मिनट्स, जैसा मैंने बोला था, 12:30 बजा है. Now you can free to ask me. I will be try to.
हाँ वीडियो ऑन कर लिया. हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक है. सर क्वेश्चंस हैं पहले राजीव शर्मा सर का. अंकित भैया काइंडली अनम्यूट हिम. ओके आई अनम्यूट.
तुम ही पढ़ दो.
एक मिनट. अरे क्या नाम, अंशुल
जी. मेरे
में चैट वाला नहीं दिख रहा, कैसे आएगा
सर? देखिए जहाँ मैनेज पार्टिसिपेंट की लिस्ट लिखी होगी, हाँ उसके बगल में चैट होगा.
नहीं मेरे में आ नहीं रहा है. पहले
मैं बता देता हूँ. सर उसमें आपका वो कंप्लीट स्लाइड शो मोड पे होगा ना, उस पर डबल क्लिक करिए, छोटा हो जाएगा, तब चैट आ जाएगा.
अच्छा एक मिनट,
मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ देता हूँ.
हाँ पढ़ो.
Difference between agricultural advances in commercial banks and RRBs. What is the difference in RBI circular for both?
एग्रीकल्चर एडवांस के लिए आरआरबी और उसमें कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है खास, लेकिन सर्कुलर आरबीआई ने अलग अलग इशूड कर रखे हैं. कुछ इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं जो कि एक्चुअली क्या है कि एनपीए जो क्लासिफाई किया जा रहा है वो आरआरबी में सेपरेट है. मैंने अभी एक आपको मैंने जो अभी प्रेजेंटेशन के लास्ट में एक आर्टिकल लिखा है मैंने, IRIC norms for RRB. I have applied for a RTI to the RBI and got the reply from the RBI. मैंने ये पूछा था उनसे कि भाई आरआरबी के लिए एनपीए नॉर्म्स कौन सा लगता है, क्योंकि मास्टर सर्कुलर इशूड बाय द RBI is specifically saying that excluding RRB.
Right.
In each master circular of the IRIC, you will get that there is a message that it is not applicable for the RRBs. So I have tried for the getting the instruction from the RBI. First of RTI applied to the NABARD, and then the CIC ordered the NABARD to transfer my application to the RBI. And I got the reply from the RBI, and I have given the reply in that article. In that article, I have given that the RRBs, IRIC norm for RRBs was not modified after 2005. So regarding agriculture advances by RRBs, you have to see the IRIC norms. Otherwise, there is no such difference for financing purpose. Maybe some other individual bank to bank, maybe some restriction, but there is no such restriction.
But for the purpose of NPA, it is the same.
No, not the same. I have told you, no. NPA norms are the difference. RRB NPA norms is not same as IRIC norms given for the commercial bank. I have told you. Read my article. You will get the complete list of the circular which has been issued by the RRB, RPCD, Rural Planning and Credit Division, issued the circular for the IRIC norms for the RRB only. So you download the article and you will get the complete list of the circulars for classifying the any advance given by the RRB, how we will be classified as NPA. Okay. Next.
Next question is by R.L. Bajpai sir. Sir, kindly ask your question.
Namaskar, Alal ji.
Can you read the question? Sir, namaskar.
सर क्वेश्चन बहुत लंबा है, आप ही एक्सप्लेन कर दें, ज्यादा बेटर रहेगा.
भैया ज्यादा लंबा ना पूछना.
एक मिनट रुक जाइए सर.
हाँ रुके
तब तक मैं क्वेश्चन पढ़ देता हूँ.
दूसरा कोई ले लो.
हाँ, अविचल सर को ले लेते हैं.
हाँ.
नहीं चलिए आगे.
डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था तो हट गया है, क्वेरी हट गई है.
सर मैं क्वेश्चन एक मिनट आपको भेज देता हूँ वाजपेयी सर.
यार मेरे में चैट नहीं आ रहा, मैं यही तो दिख नहीं रहा.
कोई बात नहीं, मैं क्वेश्चन एक मिनट दे रहा हूँ.
तो आ रहा था, आज क्यों नहीं आ रहा है?
रुक जाइए.
वाजपेयी सर आपको चैट में मैंने क्वेश्चन भेज दिए हैं, देख लीजिए.
ठीक है.
ओह सॉरी, ये आप वाला नहीं है.
एक सेकंड.
आप वाला भेजा हूँ.
सर ये पूछा था.
बताइए
कि जो रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग के दौरान इंटरेस्ट अमाउंट जो ओवरड्यू होता है वो FITL अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर कर दिया जाता है. और कई सारे केसेस में मैंने देखा कि FITL अकाउंट जो है वो मास्टर लोन अकाउंट से उसके CIF से लिंक नहीं होता है. तो अगर उसकी कंप्लायंस नहीं हुई है, लाइक मॉनिटरिंग पीरियड जो भी उसमें दिया हुआ है वो नहीं कंप्लाई होता है या उसमें रिपेमेंट नहीं आती है, तो मेन अकाउंट की क्लासिफिकेशन में उसका क्या इम्पैक्ट है और क्या तरीका है, कैसे करें?
देखिए एक्चुअली क्या है कि RBI का जो IRIC का सर्कुलर दिया हुआ है वो ये कहता है कि प्रिंसिपल ऑपरेटिंग अकाउंट.
करेक्ट
है ना? तो आपका प्रिंसिपल ऑपरेटिंग अकाउंट कौन सा है? वो FITL वाला नहीं है
सर. FITL वाला नहीं, बट FITL अकाउंट इज नॉट लिंक्ड विद द प्रिंसिपल अकाउंट.
then you have to, the bank has to link.
It
is a technical mistake.
That is there, but
होना चाहिए.
Sir, most of the cases it is found that CIF is not linked.
सर ये टेक्निकल मिस्टेक है. अगर ऐसा है तो आप लिख के रिपोर्ट करें कि these accounts have not been linked with the same CIF, so that the IRIC norms cannot be applied borrower wise.
Okay sir.
Instead of it is being applied by the banking system by the account wise.
Okay.
ठीक है ना?
Okay.
सर एक क्वेश्चन आपका और था.
हाँ.
वो आप ही पढ़ लीजिए.
सर एक क्वेरी और थी इसमें, जो आज अभी शायद आपने देखा नहीं होगा, अभी जो रेगुलेटरी मेजर्स आज जो अनाउंस हुए हैं RBI से
जी,
उसमें उन्होंने क्या करा है कि एसेट क्लासिफिकेशन 90 डेज क्लासिफिकेशन विल एक्सक्लूड द मोरेटोरियम पीरियड. द बैंक विल हैव टू मेंटेन additional 10% provision on these standstill accounts over next 2 quarters
अच्छा,
These provisions can later be adjusted against the provision requirement for the slippage requirement.
भैया अब नया जो अभी आया, अभी तो मैं सुबह से यहीं बैठा हूँ,
समझ रहा हूँ।
तो अभी मैंने इसको देखा नहीं है।
इसका हो सकता है
अगर
सर
जो कुछ लिखा आरबीआई ने भैया, वो तो पिताजी हैं हमारे, उनका तो मानना ही पड़ेगा।
करेक्ट सर, करेक्ट
है ना, लेकिन अब क्या है उस पर, क्या उसका
हाँ, क्या उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन,
हाँ, इंटरप्रिटेशन क्या है, दैट हैज टू बी सी।
डेफिनेटली सर, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
ओके,
Next question is from Avichal sir. Sir, kindly ask your question.
Sir, you have referred to this circular of 4th July 2018, RBI Master Circular.
ओके,
But वो कॉपी शेयर कर लीजिएगा, बिकॉज मेरे को RBI Master Circular 3rd July 2017 ही मिल पा रहा है।
4 जुलाई 2000 कौन सा मांग रहे हैं आप?
18 आपने कहा था लास्ट मास्टर सर्कुलर है, वो कॉपी शेयर कर लीजिएगा हम लोग से।
ये वाला, अच्छा ठीक है, फोर्स है मेरे पास, है वैसे
जी
मिल
सर।
रहा है। आप इसके अगर
वो
आप
तो डाउनलोड
ये
कर
मैं आपको बता देता हूँ, एक मिनट। इसका सर्कुलर नंबर मैंने दिया हुआ है, एंड इट विल बी, इट इज अवेलेबल। आई हैव जस्ट लास्ट नाइट आई हैव डाउनलोडेड।
ठीक है,
अगर नहीं है तो भी मैं आपको भेज दूंगा, नो प्रॉब्लम। ओके,
Okay, next question is from GP Gupta sir. Sir, kindly ask your question.
यूपी गुप्ता कहाँ है? हाँ जी, बताएं।
Unmute कर दिया है। GP Gupta sir.
हेलो हेलो,
एक मिनट सर,
आया नहीं।
जी। Gupta sir.
What specific relief by RBI on KCC under COVID-19? His question is this, I think, in the chat.
Yes sir, यही है।
What specific relief by RBI? There is no specific relief given by the KCC under the KCC scheme. There is a general relief.
हो सकता है आज कुछ आया हो।
अब आज वाला तो भाई नहीं कह सकते,
नहीं कह सकते।
देखा ही
जी
नहीं,
जी जी,
है ना। बट इन दैट अर्लियर अनाउंसमेंट देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक रिलीफ फॉर केसीसी।
ठीक है। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन संतोष मिश्रा जी का है। सर, काइंडली आस्क योर क्वेश्चन। संतोष जी,
Today RBI governor said that the period of 1-3 to 31 will be excluded for NPA calculation. What is its impact? I think this is the question of Santosh Mishra ji.
जी जी जी, बिल्कुल।
Sir, please tell us some tips and tactics and do's and don'ts to perform better statutory audit. सबसे पहले तो क्वेश्चन ये है कि अब की बार ऑडिट होगा भी कि नहीं होगा। तो पहला क्वेश्चन ये इन्होंने पूछा है, सेट दैट द पीरियड ऑफ 1-3 से 31/5 विल बी एक्लूडेड फॉर एनपीए कैलकुलेशन। 1-3 से, तो हमारे लिए तो 1-3 से 31/3 ही रिलेवेंट है अभी। 31/5 का पीरियड जो कह रहे हैं, तो 31/5 का तो हमारे लिए होगा नहीं। तो ऑल द कंडीशंस हैव टू बी सीन एज ऑन 1-3 जनवरी से मांगा क्या?
नहीं, फरवरी से रहेगा ना, इन्होंने तो मार्च से कहा है ना, मार्च से
एक्सटेंशन हुआ है, तो फरवरी तक की हमको कंडीशन देखनी पड़ेंगी।
हाँ, वो जैसे बाकी कमर्शियल लोन्स का देखते हैं सेम पैटर्न पे, इसका भी वैसे ही रहना चाहिए।
फरवरी तक हमको देखना होगा, मार्च में नहीं देखना होगा। खाली वो फरवरी तक देखेंगे, बाकी मैं ये सर्कुलर पढ़ने के बाद ही बता पाऊंगा कि क्या है।
जी, ओके। सर, किसी और मेंबर की अगर क्वेरी रह गई हो, काइंडली रेज योर हैंड।
अच्छा, इनकी एक क्वेरी और थी ना, डूज एंड डोंट्स।
हाँ जी जी
सर, ये ऐसा है, डूज एंड डोंट्स का ये है कि जैसे मैंने तो अभी से पिछले 8-10 दिन से ऑडिट स्टार्ट कर दिया है।
कैसे?
आई हैव रिसीव्ड ऑल दिस रिटर्न्स इन सॉफ्ट कॉपीज फ्रॉम द ब्रांचेस।
अभी तो बहुतों का अलॉटमेंट ही नहीं हुआ,
समझे कि नहीं? मैंने तो सबसे रिटर्न सारे, कम से कम 50-60 रिटर्न जो उनके जाते हैं, सारे के सारे सॉफ्ट कॉपी में मंगा लिए हैं।
अच्छा सर,
और
अभी बहुत लोगों का अलॉटमेंट नहीं हुआ ना।
एक्सेल का यूज करके एडवांसेस की एनालिसिस शुरू कर दी है।
वैसे एसबीआई का अलॉटमेंट नहीं हुआ है किसी को।
हाँ, देयर इज अ प्रॉब्लम दैट सम बैंक्स हैज येट नॉट बीन अलॉटेड द ब्रांचेस, बट डूज इट, यू हैव टू read the various circulars, banks instructions, etc., and do not take anything loosely. Next question,
सर, अभी वैसे चैट बॉक्स में किसी का क्वेश्चन नहीं है। अगर किसी का मिस हो रहा हो, काइंडली रेज योर हैंड प्लीज। तो 2 मिनट देख लेते हैं, अगर किसी का आता है ठीक है, नहीं तो विल कंक्लूड।
कोई बात नहीं।
वाजपेयी सर का है, 1 मिनट।
वाजपेयी सर ने क्या लिखा है?
सर बोलेंगे, लिखा नहीं है सर आप अनम्यूट करिए अपने आप को, यहाँ से हमने कर दिया है।
हेलो।
हाँ जी बताएं।
सर ये कह रहे थे कि जो ये आपके केसीसी अकाउंट है जिसमें सबवेंशन के लिए आपने बताया है
जी,
इसको थोड़ा सा और क्लियर कर दीजिए कि जहां पे हम पेमेंट ड्यूरिंग द ईयर विद इन 12 मंथ नहीं कर पाते हैं वहां पे हायर रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट पे स्विच कर जाता है अकाउंट या
जी।
तो ऐसे केसेस में सबवेंशन नहीं मिलेगा सर, क्योंकि सबवेंशन इज रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू द 7% ओनली।
नहीं, आप थोड़ा देखिए, मैं आपको बताता हूँ। सपोज करिए कि कोई अकाउंट में पिछले साल, समझ करिए 2019 में दिसंबर में 2018 में मान लीजिए कोई अमाउंट को हमने 18-19 फाइनेंशियल ईयर अगर आप लेते हैं, तो समझ करिए कि दिसंबर 18 में 1 दिसंबर 18 को हमने कोई अमाउंट उसको फाइनेंस किया था।
करेक्ट।
ठीक है, अब 1 दिसंबर 18 को किया था, तो यानी कि वो 30 नवंबर 19 तक उसका रिपेमेंट आ जाना चाहिए था, मैक्सिमम मंथ, 12 मंथ में। अब सिस्टम में क्या होता है कि अगर वो आदमी ने 30 नवंबर 19 तक पेमेंट नहीं किया तो सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिकली change the ROI from 7% to the normal interest rate.
Correct, sir. Very good.
Okay. But the person will qualify for the 2% subvention, but not qualify for the 3%.
3% subvention. Prompt.
Okay.
Correct.
So
correct.
He will qualify for the 2% subvention from 1 December 18 to 30th November 19.
Very fine, sir.
And after that, he will not qualify either for the 2% or 3%.
Or for the 3%.
Unless
correct.
He repaid the amount. Suppose he repaid the amount on 31st December 19 and liquidate the limits. And again, he has taken withdrawal the amount on the same date. 31st दिसंबर को उसने पूरा पेमेंट किया, चलिए जो भी एंट्री आप कह सकते हैं उसको, कैश जमा किया, कैश निकाला, जो भी किया, and after that he has again withdrawn the money. Then from that date he will again qualify for that.
Again will qualify. Correct.
Okay. For that period from 1st December to 31st December, where the limit was not liquidated, the interest will be normal interest rate and subvention will not be allowed.
Correct, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
तो संतोष मिश्रा जी का क्वेश्चन है, इनको अनम्यूट कर दिया है। संतोष जी, प्लीज आस्क योर क्वेश्चन।
We see the regular advances on 30/11/19 and not on 31st.
तो इनका जो लास्ट क्वेश्चन है, डॉक्यूमेंट रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम टेनेंट फार्मर फॉर केसीसी, कैन अ टेनेंट फार्मर अवेल अ लोन विदाउट द कंसेंट ऑफ फार्म ओनर?
Can a tenant farmer avail a loan without the consent of the farm owner?
मैं जो समझ पा रहा हूँ कि पहले तो टेनेंट फार्मर से हम क्या डॉक्यूमेंट लेंगे, वो बटाई पे उसको मिला भी है कुछ करने को या नहीं मिला है?
हाँ, उसके लिए क्या है कि कभी कभी क्या होता है कि उसके पास खसरा खतौनी तो होती नहीं है, क्योंकि वो तो टेनेंट फार्मर है
जी।
तो वो क्या करेगा कि जो ओनर है उसकी जो खतरा खतौनी है वो दिखाएगा कि हमारे पास ये हमने लिया, और उसकी कंसेंट दिखाएगा कि साहब हमने इनसे बटाई पे ले रखा। और एंड यूज जो है वो आपको ही चेक करना है।
कंसेंट मतलब ऐसा ही हो सकता है, वो तो सादे कागज पे, मतलब ऐसा तो कुछ
हाँ, वो कोई दिक्कत नहीं। और मतलब आपको एंड यूज तो आप ही को चेक करना है कि whether that amount has been financed and utilized by the particular farmer for the particular purpose or not. ऐसा नहीं कि वो ले गया और पता लगा वो शादी ब्याह में लगा दिया बजाय उसने जो है किसानी के।
तो एज कंपेयर्ड टू द ओनर फार्मर, यहाँ पे दिस इज मोर रिस्क प्रोन, क्योंकि वो खसरा खतौनी ले सकते, किसी की भी ले आया कुछ है।
खसरा खतौनी लेने की जरूरत नहीं है, बस खाली उसके लिए कॉपी देगा कि भाई दिस इज द लैंड ऑन विच आई एम कल्टिवेटिंग विद द कंसेंट ऑफ द ओनर फार्मर।
So this is more risk prone as compared to the owner farmer, है ना?
Yes, बिल्कुल।
Okay, thank you.
I was expecting more questions कि भाई ये तो बड़ा कंट्रोवर्शियल इशू है और इस पे ज्यादा क्वेश्चन होने चाहिए।
राजीव सर का भी एक क्वेश्चन है, I have unmuted him.
राजीव
मुकेश जी,
हाँ बताइए।
मैं कहता जो आपने अभी बोला ना आरआरबीज का, तो ब्रॉडली क्या डिफरेंस है इसमें?
भैया ब्रॉडली डिफरेंस ये है कि यहाँ पर जो आप दे रहे हैं ना 90 डेज और ये सब जो दे रहे हैं ना
जी,
वहाँ ब्रॉडली 180 डेज है।
ओके।
अच्छा, और बाकी बहुत सारे डिफरेंसेस हैं ये जो एक्चुअली पुराने हमारे आयरिक नॉर्म्स चल रहे थे फॉर कमर्शियल बैंक्स, मोर और लेस दे आर अप्लाइंग फॉर द आरआरबीज एंड दे हैव नॉट बीन मेड स्ट्रिक्टर फॉर आरआरबीज एक्चुअली क्या है कि ये बैंक आरबीआई में जो आरपीसीडी सेल था वो मर्ज हो गया, रूरल प्लानिंग एंड क्रेडिट डिवीजन जो था वो मर्ज हो गया है, वो अब सर्कुलर इशू नहीं कर रहा है। तो और कोई डिपार्टमेंट ने ये पेंस नहीं लिया, ना नाबार्ड तो अलाउ ही नहीं है उसको इशू करना। मैंने आरटीआई में पूछा था कि भाई क्या नाबार्ड इज ऑथोराइज्ड टू इशू द डायरेक्शन फॉर द आरआरबीज, तो आरबीआई ने कह दिया कि नहीं वो नहीं ऑथोराइज्ड है, वो कोई इंस्ट्रक्शन इशू नहीं कर सकता। नाबार्ड इज ओनली ए नोडल अथॉरिटी फॉर रेगुलेटिंग द इंस्ट्रक्शन गिवन बाय द आरबीआई, ठीक है ना। तो आरबीआई ने जो इंस्ट्रक्शन दिए हैं, मैं अभी मेरे पास वो आपको अगर होता तो मैं आपको दिखा देता कि क्या मैंने लिखा है उसके अंदर। काफ़ी सारे सर्कुलर दिए हैं उन्होंने, करीब 25-30 सर्कुलर की लिस्ट मेरे को भेजी है। तो वो सर्कुलर के हिसाब से आपको देखना पड़ेगा, और वो सब 2005 के बाद मॉडिफाई नहीं हुए हैं, वही लगेंगे। लेकिन नाबार्ड क्या हो रहा है आरआरबी में, मोस्ट ऑफ द आरआरबीज आर अप्लाइंग द नॉर्म्स एप्लीकेबल टू कमर्शियल बैंक्स।
दिस इज व्हाट आई एम सेइंग,
या
जनरली तो वही अप्लाई कर रहे हैं।
या ड्यू टू दैट रीजन आई हैव अप्लाइड फॉर द आरटीआई।
नहीं तो हम लोग जो करेंगे वो उसी हिसाब से करें ना, जैसे नॉर्मल।
You have to apply the norms applicable to RRB, not for the commercial bank. You are not supposed to use the 1st July Master Circular 2015 for RRBs. That is not for them. ठीक है सर?
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
हाँ, कंफ्यूजन मत लीजिए।
वाजपेयी सर आप कुछ पूछ रहे थे?
मैं कह रहा था कि जो आरआरबी की रिलेटेड डायरेक्ट नाम्स की हेडलाइन सर बता रहे हैं, उसको थोड़ा शेयर करा दिए तो हम लोग भी उससे बेनिफिटेड हो जाएंगे।
भैया शेयर जो है आपको मैंने कहा ना, आप मेरा आर्टिकल जब पढ़ेंगे ना उसमें मैंने सारे लिस्ट दी हुई है,
मेहनत करो।
आरबीआई के वहाँ से साइट से डाउनलोड कर लीजिए।
ओके सर,
सर जो
मैं दिखा दूं आपको सर्कुलर,
खुद भी मेहनत।
ठीक है सर, ठीक है, आपने बता दिया, मैं देख लूंगा सर।
हाँ,
अदरवाइज पर्सनली आपको बात कर लूंगा।
हाँ पर्सनली तो मुझे जब भी परेशान
सर आप वो सर्कुलर्स की लिस्ट मुझे एक बार भेज दीजिएगा। आपके जो आर्टिकल्स हैं
उसमें दिए आर्टिकल में,
नहीं जो आपके आर्टिकल्स हैं उसका लिंक भेज दीजिएगा मेल पे, तो मैं सबको व्हाट्सएप पे डाल दूंगा। अच्छा ठीक है,
स्लाइड शो में डाल रखा है,
प्रेजेंटेशन के लास्ट में स्लाइड है ना।
ठीक है, आप पीपीटी शेयर करिए, मैं सबसे शेयर कर दूंगा।
हाँ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है
ठीक है। एनी मोर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम मेंबर्स? काइंडली रेज योर हैंड। सर ऐसा तो भी कोई नहीं
अभी मेरी मीटिंग चल रही है।
I request Prakhar Rastogi to kindly present vote of thanks to the speaker.
Thank you, Anshul. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, perfectly.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to present the vote of thanks on behalf of Lucknow Chartered Accountants Society. Leaving the urban branches, agricultural advances have always been in the majority. So it was a very much required webinar on this issue. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank our learned speaker, CA Mukesh Saran sir, for sharing his knowledge and experience with us. I would also like to thank our members for the active participation in this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prakhar.
Thank you, members. Thank you, members.
I will share the PPT to
Yes, sir.
and he will give you. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.